Thanks so much, guys, for joining me. Today we're talking about movies. So movies overall, let's talk about it. When I was younger, I was a movie guy, not a TV guy. Okay? So one of my first movies that I absolutely loved, that I could remember loving, like head over heels love, was probably Willow. And if you don't know it, look it up. It has, it's from Ron Howard. It's like one of those fantastical movies. It has like elves and knights and things like that. I really, really enjoyed it. So Willow was a good one, and that was the one that really made me like enjoy storytelling and movies. And then as I grew up, I just liked movies. I would always like my favorite season. I always say is summer blockbuster season. Like I love, that's my favorite time of the year. Every weekend in the summer, I'm pretty much in a movie theater seeing a movie. When the world was the way it used to be. We'll get back to that. But I always loved it. I made my first short film when I was on a leave of absence for my consulting job, and that really made me fall in love with the whole process and inspired me to want to be a director, which is what I will do in life eventually. Never really wanted to be in TV. Kind of just fell into this through the comedy angle. We always loved making people laugh. Impractical Jokers happened, and here I am. So my major directing blockbuster career is being interrupted by Impractical Jokers. So that's really what's happening, I think. This is just a 10-season speed bump on the road to success as an Oscar-winning director, I think. So, I love everything about movies. I love the format. I love the journey. I love the escapism of a movie. And that's really it. So, some of my favorite movies, off the top of my head, Shawshank Redemption, I always loved. Crash, the movie Crash, I loved. And then, of course, comedies from Mel Brooks. History of the World is one of my favorite. Airplane, of course, is one of my favorite. You go into a little bit more new school. I love old school. I love Wedding Crashers. Vince Vaughn, it was always, for me, his comedy, his speed was always really fun. The Other Guys, I think, is really an underrated, really fun one. I thought that was really, really well done. I really love Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg together. So it's still some of the modern comedies, but I'm sure that some of the questions will reflect that. So overall, I'm a movie guy. I love movies. I have a 600 DVD collection. I still buy DVDs, which is crazy. Love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Love that whole experience. Also love DC movies. Wonder Woman is probably I'd probably say the first Wonder Woman was one of my top 3 favorite superhero films of all time, which says a lot because considering how much I love all the Marvel movies. All right, so questions. Let's get into them. On Twitter, at Joe96781924 says, is Captain Fatbelly coming to save the day in his first ever movie? Well, I would love that. I can see doing a Captain Fatbelly short. I don't know if the Fatbelly could get we don't know what his origin story is. I guess it's just my origin story of like finding desserts. I don't know how interesting that would be, but you never know. Maybe we could come to the big screen. He'd have to be on the big screen because he's a big guy. But that was shot very cinematically. That punishment was unbelievable. They had on the other side of each side of the Roosevelt ferry tram, the tram on both sides of the bridge, they had long lens cameras on the roofs, and it looked like they were shooting a movie. Like there was long lens cameras on the rooftops of these buildings to capture me, and then it was also like the GoPros and everything on top of the tram. It was very cinematic, and it was like one of our first stunt-like ones. So yeah, I could see it being a film. I'd probably give it 3 stars. At is so Zat SO1. Is that so one? Okay. Greatest oh shit movie moment for you? I mean, there's classic spoilers that you can't really. I will just tell you the movies. I won't tell the moment, but you'll know the moment because of the movie. I think Saw has an unbelievable twist and turn. I think, of course, Sixth Sense, and that made me fall in love with M. Night Shyamalan, and that really was really, really well done, but he also brings that back for me in Split. I think Split had a very good moment in there as well. I think like some of the big, I'm trying to think of a big laugh that really caught me off guard. Oh, I know, in The Hangover, when he turns the corner and he's got baby Carlos and he hits his head in the car door, I lost my shit. I thought that was one of the funniest, simplest jokes when Zach hits that. I thought that was really funny. So, but I like a good thriller, and if I have to say, the number one would definitely be Kaiser Sose in Usual Suspects. I think that reveal was unbelievable and so well done and completely underrated. I think that was the Usual Suspects. Like became my rewatch for a while. I would watch that movie a lot. The movie I watched the most was Made. Jon Favreau, Vince Vaughn, the second movie after Swingers. I thought was so well done, and I used to watch it all the time. Okay, so next one is from She Is in Wonderland, no A, at on Twitter. Talk about your favorite horror movie. Here's the thing. I'm not a big horror movie guy. I should say I wasn't. I got married to Bessie, who's a huge horror movie person, but very specific horror movies. Like doesn't like paranormal, likes slashers, more of that. I will say The Ring completely freaked me out when I saw it. Fast forward about 10 years later, after I showed it to my nephews who were about age to watch scary movies, and I rewatched it, and they weren't scared, and I was unimpressed. So I think a lot has to do with the setting. Old school, The Shining is phenomenal. Pet Sematary, the original, the couple moments in that really scared the hell out of me. What else? You know what, like the weird ones, like The Neighbor, You My Neighbor, Won't You Be My, Who's the Neighbors? You Gotta Be My Neighbor, Who Lives Next Door? That one with the creepy people outside the, whenever somebody looks out the window and there's just somebody there, like at the edge of the driveway in a fog and a mist. Why are these neighborhoods so misty and foggy? Side note. But when that happens, like I normally am like, I get a little worried. I get a little scared. One of the recent ones, The Conjuring, I thought was phenomenal. And that definitely holds up. I thought that was phenomenal. Never saw The Conjuring 2 yet. I'll get to it. So those are some of my horror movies that are up there. What's the one movie role you wish you could have played? Frank Drebin in Police Squad. Done iconically by Leslie Nielsen. Can't be beat for sure. I think I would love to do something with that or Lone Physical. Okay, next one is at Little Owl 1871. Is there a movie from your childhood that you loved that you want to share with your children? Oh, for sure. There's plenty. Goonies. I watch my nieces and nephews. All the Star Wars films. I watched a couple with my daughter who's 5 who just likes Yoda. So we watched some of that, but I can see when she gets older. But I think like Ghostbusters, Gremlins, like all the classics for me, the Goonies, everything in that kind of feel I really liked. But Goonies for sure I think is like the number one movie I can't wait to watch with my daughter. And my son, I probably am really excited to get into some of the monster movies like the Marvel cinematic movies. I think my daughter would like them too, but my son has gravitated way more to superheroes, and my daughter has gravitated way more to like legendary stuff, like elves, unicorns, princesses, and princes. So I think she'll really enjoy like Willow, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, that kind of stuff. I think she's gonna really feel like that stuff. But you never know; they're still young. So, at Faded JS, King Kong vs. Godzilla. Any thoughts? So many thoughts. I don't know if you saw my Twitter. It's a buzz. It's a buzz with things. Okay, so I know I'm gonna have to pick a team. I'm gonna have to be rooting for somebody when I'm watching the movie, and I'm going into the film. I'm torn. Okay, if I go old school, I was always more of a Godzilla fan. But in the reboots, I mean, Kong is fantastic. I mean, the way he just takes care of business on Skull Island. I mean, you got to show some respect to the big monkey. You got to. And then the big lizard comes in strong, Millie Bobby Brown doing his thing, right? He comes up out of the water saving everybody. I think, you know what's hard? Godzilla kicked every monster's ass in one movie. So for Kong just to beat him, then people are talking to me about this. Tell me your thoughts here. Let's see what people think. They think they're going to make them team up and fight another monster. I think that would be such a cop-out. I think you need to have a bare-knuckle brawl. I don't mind it ending in a draw or a thing, but I think them teaming up, I'm not going to be a fan of. If they have to fight something to get to fight each other, I think that would be a better way to take the plot. Like if they have to, they want the fight so bad that they help each other to defeat something that's in the way of like Godzilla making it to Kong or whatever. I think that'd be pretty fun. But I don't even know who that monster is. Like who's good enough to take on those two. So the short answer is I have not picked yet. The long answer is what I just took you through. So I hope you find yourself well informed either way. I think I'm going to lean towards Godzilla. I do, in my gut, just because my childhood affinity for Godzilla is so strong, but Kong came back in the reboots. I don't know. I don't know is the answer. Stop pressuring me. Okay? I don't know about it. Kong vs. Godzilla. I'm having anxiety about it, about this film, about two fake monsters fighting. And it's all I think about. Oh my God, God forbid. Oh, if they come out with a video game, forget it. I'm going to be serious. I'm not going to sleep. This is going to be terrible. It's not good. It's not good. So I'm leaning towards Godzilla. We're going to have to, it's TBD. At Minnesota Ant asks, what movie you can basically quote every line from? I would probably say the Mel Brooks films, like Young Frankenstein, and I mean, I know a lot of movie quotes, and when I'm watching movies, I could repeat them and say them. I like Cold, a lot of Naked Gun. I think Naked Gun is probably one of them that I could do that. But when I'm watching movies, I rewatch movies all the time. Shawshank Redemption, like I've seen that movie. I've probably seen that movie. I'm not even kidding. I've probably seen that movie 50 times. I love Shawshank Redemption. So that's probably up there too. I could probably repeat a lot of that. Okay, at Mexico, 1973. That's a very funny Twitter handle. At Mexico, 1973 asks, favorite actor and actress and why? Will Smith, because he's phenomenal in everything that he does and commits beyond belief. Also Leo DiCaprio. I think he's an amazing actor. I will say this about Will Smith. I do think what really made me, I was a Will Smith fan my whole life. Will Smith fan. From his music to following on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, then all the way through all his movies and Independence Day, of course, and then how he just became the king of the box office, summer blockbuster and all that. Following all that was really fun for me. Then just to watch like the Bad Boys franchise and all that stuff, but then to see him like turn gears and do The Pursuit of Happiness and Ali and like things that he did there. Like when I watched Ali, I was like, there's no way he cannot win this Oscar. And then I saw Ray and Jamie Foxx, and I was like, there's no way he can't win this Oscar. I was like, they had to give them both the Oscar. So that was a hard one for me because I'm such a Will Smith, and I thought that was one of his best shots. But he'll get one, my boy. Yeah, so I would say Will Smith. Actress-wise, I mean, I like a lot of actresses. Melissa McCarthy really tickles my funny bone. The movie Spy I thought was phenomenal. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend Spy. I thought she was so good in it. She stood out in Bridesmaids, of course. But I think the movie Spy really made me just lock her in for life. Like, she's really, really fun. And then she did the one with Jason Bateman, where he's like a bounty hunter or something like that. I forgot the name of the two of them together, but it was really fun too. I really like that one. Identity Thief. That's it. She steals his identity. That's right. Identity Thief. That's a great one. And somebody also said Johnny Depp, who I really respect as an actor too. I think he does a great job. I think if I'm going to go old school, it's Gene Wilder. Gene Wilder made me laugh like nobody's business. Could sell it. Leslie Nielsen, for sure. Phenomenal. And then, your Pacinos and De Niro's and all that. I think there's just certain, because they played them roles, became icons. Like Scarface became such an icon. I think Pacino's portrayal of that had such a big, it was a great movie too on top of that, but I think it was because it was Pacino, it brought it to the next level. All the good, like the Goodfellas and all those kind of movies. I think De Niro has a real part in bringing those to the next level. So there you go. Favorite movie that takes place in New York? At Film Freak asks. I thought Cloverfield did a really good job of using New York and getting through there. See, here's the thing about New York. It always gets destroyed in every movie, right? So like pretty much every disaster movie has New York, LA, and Chicago getting destroyed, right? So I really liked the way they did in Cloverfield. It felt like a character there. Probably my favorite movie about it, you're gonna have to look it up, is Sidewalks of New York. I thought Ed Burns, it was phenomenal. It was really well done. It was kind of like a documentary thing. It's older at this point. It's like early 2000s, I think it came out. That was really, really well done. So check out Sidewalks of New York. All-time favorite animated film, asks Amber Carlance. Ooh, you guys got good questions. I mean, you can't throw down all-time favorites, right? Because it's hard to pick just one, okay? If I had to. Man, Lion King was phenomenal. I think Lion King did really, really, that and the animated Aladdin. I think probably those are my two favorite Disney movies and animated films, but I think that. But I will say, if you're gonna go like computer generated animated too, not old school hand drawn, I really enjoyed Bolt, which my daughter loves too. I really enjoyed Bolt. I thought that was such a sweet story. I thought it was really well done. I thought it was really fun. So I would say Bolt. But my favorite Pixar, if I'm going to go Pixar, is probably The Incredibles. I think the original Incredibles. Well, Toy Story's too, but not Toy Story 2. 2 was shit. Toy Story. Or I probably would have to go The Incredibles if I had to pick a Pixar one. So those are my animated ones. At Scout the Trooper asks, have you ever had an idea for a punishment that was inspired by a movie? Oh yeah, for sure, plenty. I mean, Sal's Zombie Apocalypse, where he got scared. The Haunted House, we did a couple of homages to some scary movies. The Turquoise Ring punishment, where we did the sale of the Turquoise Ring, where Q, and we made it like a 1970 set, and we were really thinking about Always Be Closing, ABC from, the name of the movie's escaping me now, not 12 Angry Men. Always Be Closing, what's that from? Baldwin says it, Always Be Closing, and it's Jack Lemmon's in it. It's an old school movie. It's about salesmen. What the hell's the name of that? Glengarry Glen Ross. Thank you. That was great. So that was around that. So yeah, we're all movie guys, so we take little things. I mean, even our characters, like in Nah Dog, That Ain't Me, Q comes out as Marty McFly. In one, he has a Ghostbusters spec. Like we throw out like little shout outs to movies all the time. I think that's good. Wolf of Wall Street's another great movie, and I think it shows Leonardo DiCaprio as one of his best movies. I like Leo a lot. Let's move over to the Instagram questions. At Holly J024 asks, favorite story of filming Impractical Jokers the movie? I will say the Miami scene where I have to get on stage and improvise, and yeah, that was probably my favorite. So we're in the Miami nightclub scene. Paula Abdul is there. There is 150 extras. There's the whole crew's there, and now I'm talking to the director Chris Henchy, and it's my turn to go on stage to basically just freestyle and pump up the crowd and get crazy. And we got up there. I was so nervous because it's the first time it was one of the first earlier on in the scenes in the movie, and it was one of the first times I was like on a movie set and it was all eyes on me, because you're normally with the boys, so you only have to be 25% of the funny, but here I had to really bring the thunder. And we started doing, the music started, and Paul Abdul comes up on stage, and I say, Abdul, get your Abdul ass up here. And I just fell into a character, and I just went nuts, and I was doing the whole thing. I was, being the hype man to the umpteenth degree, and then when it was over, everybody started clapping. And I was like, that felt really awesome. That was really cool. And I looked at the guys, and the guys were going nuts. So I thought that was really cool. So that's probably my favorite. That's a good question. That's probably my favorite story of the filming of the Impractical Jokers, the movie. Yeah. So, are you a Marvel fan or DC? Asks at Riley.Jonas. I will say this. I am a Marvel fan of the cinematic universe. I never read comic books. I know stories, of course, but I always loved a good superhero movie. So even like the X-Men ones, the older X-Men ones and stuff. But the movies don't really speak to the strength of the characters, I love Superman as a character. I love the original Superman movies. They always have a place in my heart as some of the best escapism, like, wow, they really did that when you were younger kind of movies. The reboots of them, it's just styles. It's different choices. It's, Marvel's a comedy wrapped in action movies a lot of the times, but the storytelling in all of them is really, really wonderful. You can't really beat what Marvel did, though. To have a 13, 14 movie saga, if you think about it, that's basically what they did. They basically just made this saga that went over 14 movies, ish. So, you don't really have that with DC, right? DC tried to kind of do it with Justice League and whatnot, but they didn't really you didn't fall in love with the characters first. You didn't get to have the excitement of each one of them going, the first time you see 3 of the characters for the Justice League are in the Justice League movie. Like, so I don't know if they did themselves a disservice by not trying to follow the format. That's just me. But like my favorite, well, growing up, one of my favorite superheroes, probably more than Spider-Man, was Flash. I love the Flash. So I don't know. I could say I'm a fan of both, but when it comes to the movies, I'm probably definitely Marvel. But I think it's not a fair fight. I think it was just 2 different approaches. Okay. At Callie Massa asks, what's your favorite funny movie? If I had to pick, I would probably say Young Frankenstein. Old school Mel Brooks. At Yara Gobril on Instagram, what's your favorite movie lately and why? You know what? I did a rewatch of that I had seen and it just always stuck with me, which I liked, was The Town with Ben Affleck. It's like a heist movie with like a twist kind of deal. I'm big. I love heist movies. I love heist movies. The Italian Job was one of my favorites. So I really like heist movies. I enjoy a good heist. That's my favorite part of the Mission Impossible is like when they're pulling off the big thing. So I think I don't know. I would have to say lately I watched The Town again and that was a good one. I'm trying to think if there's anything new that I watched. I've been watching some shit. Like there's a lot of bad shit on the streaming services. Like you pop something on and it's like, oh my God, that was terrible. I watched this one where a girl got lost it was 2 girls, 2 teenage girls. They were going to a soccer camp. One friend wanted to run away for the weekend, so she pretended to push off a bridge and she died. And then to cover it up, the parents killed the father that came looking for their kid because their kid they thought was going to go to jail because she murdered her friend. And at the end, the friend shows up at the door and is like, oh, I just wanted to be away for the weekend. I don't even know what happened. Like, it was such a weird thing. So 2 friends are going to a camp. She wants to sneak away with her boyfriend for the weekend, so that she stages her own death that the girl helps. She lies to her parents, says she killed her friend. The parents, like, try to cover it up for the daughter. The father comes ding-dong, knock-knocking. It's like, hey, they try to set him up for child abuse. It doesn't bite, so they kill him. And then the girl shows up and is like, I was just kidding. I was at Riley's house. And then credits. It was so stupid. It was so stupid. I'm so angry talking about it. And why won't they let me make a movie? I have so many good ideas for movies. Nobody will buy them. That was it. So make sure you check it out. It was great. It was called like Hide Away. You run from your sister. Hide for the weekend. Don't kill my dad. I went to my boyfriend's. I don't know the name of it. I got to find out what the name of that movie was now.
It's The Lie.
The Lie. The Lie. Because it was all a big lie. You know what's a lie? That 92 minutes. That's a lie. I'm not getting that back. I lie in bed at night and think about how bad a film that was. It actually wasn't that bad. It was a fun journey, but I felt unsatisfied at the end. Let's see what else. Okay, what is the worst movie you've ever seen? The Lie. The Lie. It's terrible. No. Okay, at Cesar Cinema asks, what was the worst movie you'd ever seen? What's the one on Netflix, the platform, that they're sitting, it's a jail. Okay, people, you gotta watch this because it sucked. Okay, look, it was a movie where it's a futuristic jail, okay? And here's the deal. It's built vertically, okay? And in the beginning, depending on how bad your crime was, you get put on a different floor and then it just gets randomized. So you could start on floor 1, but every day to get fed, a table is brought down with food. And it stops for 30 seconds on each floor. And then you get to grab what you want. But the problem is, it's only filled once. And by the time it gets down to floor 30, 40, 50, people have eaten and eaten and eaten. It's getting less and less and less. So the people on the bottom are way, way more hungry. Okay? So now, what happens? The people on the bottom become cannibals and start eating each other. And then there's a woman that has a child, somehow. And at the end, somebody jumps on the table, rises it all the way to the bottom, defends themselves, and it just opens to this big cavern, and they walk out, and it's just white lights. It's so bad. I get so mad. I don't like these 2 questions back to back, first of all. The platform, okay? I wonder how many stars that thing has. It's got to have. Okay, also, the worst movie, best movie that I've ever seen, The Room. If you have not seen The Room, have you seen The Room? Have you seen it? Because if you haven't seen it, Stop everything you're doing right now and go watch The Room. Second movie I want you to watch, Windy City Heat. The movie is all a prank on the main character, who's this eccentric, weird actor who thinks he got cast in a film, and his friends punk him for the whole movie. He gets straight. He thinks he's in a movie. They're filming scenes. They make him keep doing stunts. It's phenomenal. Windy City Heat. Go see those two. They're both great bad movies. Okay, what's next? Sorry, I got fired up. I would love to hear about your favorite classic black and white movie. At Suddenly Susan 24 asks. A classic black and white movie. I mean, when I go classic, I mean, if you're going to stick to black and white, it's going to be kind of hard for me. It's definitely March of the Wooden Soldiers. It's a Christmas movie that had Laurel and Hardy in it. I thought it was so entertaining, so well done, super whimsical, especially for the time. Loved it. So that's March of the Wooden. If you're going to go old school, like classic movies, like if I'm going to go like Hitchcocky, like Rear Window and stuff like that, I mean, I thought Psycho was phenomenal too. And Psycho's all in black and white, actually. Yeah, Psycho's black and white as well. I think the blood's the only thing that's red in it. I might be making that up. But, yeah, I think Hitchcock was a phenomenal storyteller too. Probably one of my favorite actors of all time is Charlie Chaplin, because he just used his body. That's all he had, and he was phenomenal. Really funny. I need to watch I gotta put it on a list or something. I need to watch the Chaplin movie where Robert Downey Jr. played Chaplin. I didn't see that, and I've been wanting to watch that. So that's it. Okay, favorite Godfather movie? 2. If your answer is not 2, get out of my life. I'll wait. It's got to be 2. Godfather 2. It's got to be. Okay, that's it. Thank you. Are you still here? That means you liked Godfather 2. Great. That was from @CarolBuys on Instagram. @Julia.Gesner asks, what's your favorite movie to watch with your kids? Home Alone. We watch it all Christmas, all the time. So fun. It's fun to watch them watch it. We really love it. I also liked watching, what was that one with the Looney Tunes one? Not Space Jam. It was like a Looney Tunes movie. No, I'm sorry. Charlie Brown. The Charlie Brown Christmas special they loved, which was really fun this year. So Remo's getting old enough to kind of start watching movies. Milan is like a super movie buff. She loves watching movies with me. So that's fun. I'm like breeding a little one. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Asks @ElijahStitt_. Yes. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. If you define Christmas movie by movies that happen at Christmas, because that's what all Christmas movies are, that movie takes place at Christmas. So there's no debate. I don't know why people are saying anything about it, because what makes Christmas Vacation a Christmas movie? It's a movie that happens at Christmas. What makes Home Alone a Christmas movie? It's a movie that happens at Christmas. If you're going to call Home Alone a Christmas movie, you gots to call. You gots to. It's the same exact thing. There's a break-in. There's weapons. There's a yippee-ki-yay motherfucker in both of them. I'm pretty sure Macaulay Culkin says that. I have to rewatch it, but I'm pretty sure he's like, yippee-ki-yay. You know it. So, I mean, I would call it a Christmas movie. @refuse_you_lose on Instagram says, so I know you want to be a director, but what type of movie would you want to direct? A heist film. I would love to direct a heist movie. I have 2 really good ideas for movies. One of them is an action-adventure movie, like a legendary kind of Lord of the Ringsies, which I'm really excited about. That comes from my childhood. And the other one is a comedy based on a heist movie. So those are 2 of my 2 favorites, and I would love to direct one of them. So, guys, donate to my GoFundMe. I'm just kidding. I don't have a GoFundMe. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. I appreciate you guys. I'm sending you nothing but love and hugs. I hope that this little bit of distraction of me just rambling on about bullshit you found entertaining. Feel free to please follow me for silly content, for whatever. I'm here to make you laugh and smile because that's what I live to do. So, much love, guys. I appreciate you. Stay strong. Be kind. Bye.